Well, it's time to get a bite on the Texas bucket list, and this week we are in Simonton to get a beautiful evening meal at the amazing restaurant known as Anthonie's Market Grill. On the outskirts of Houston, in the small town of Simonton, you'll find a fine restaurant sitting in the middle of some wide open spaces.
This place is so awesome.
It's a 5-star restaurant in the middle of nowhere.
It's my living room. I live here most of the time.
Anthony Decker is the proprietor of Anthonie's Market Grill. Sort of a city comes to the country kind of restaurant with a down-home, classy, refined feel to it. It's very hard to explain unless you see it for yourself.
Literally, people come out on horseback here. They park them right here.
Really?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
In case you couldn't tell, Anthony's not from these parts.
I still have an accent. I think, personally, I speak like John Wayne, but I don't.
He hails from Holland, where he had an infatuation with the Lone Star State as a boy.
Me sitting between my brothers on the couch, watching all the gunslinger movies. So it was for me like, you know what, I'm going to go to Texas. And I just did what Davy Crockett did, you know, I came as soon as I could. I came here in 1990, January 11th of 1990. It's the best thing I ever did.
So when you came to the States, you didn't have anything, you were just kind of going to come here and find a job and just make your way.
Yeah, I remember I wanted to work. I wanted to work hard because hard work pays off.
Anthony has had a storied career, feeding presidents and all sorts of famous Texans.
Texas has done so much for me. It's an amazing state. If you cannot make it in Texas, then forget it.
So what's a guy from Holland doing home cooking Texan food?
I have no idea, but it's great food, man, I'm telling you.
He just does it. Anthony's got the magic.
Anthony's Market Grill is known as a steakhouse, but the menu has much more than that.
A lot of the dishes that we create are comfort dishes that most Texans are used to.
That includes a down-home favorite that's done with a twist here, meatloaf.
When I said, guys, we're gonna do a meatloaf, everybody's looking at me, meatloaf? I said, yeah, because everybody in America grew up on meatloaf. Everybody likes meatloaf.
The biggest difference here, instead of regular old ground beef, Anthony showcases livestock that happens to live nearby.
We have our own herd with cattle, Wagyu, and the hamburger meat of it we use for our meatloaf.
You know what they say, don't knock it till you try it. And if it's Wagyu, I have no problem trying it.
We serve it with collard greens, mashed potatoes, and then we put a little gravy on it. And it's just delicious. In order to make a meatloaf right, you gotta have onions and bell peppers, green bell peppers, and garlic.
Anthony makes massive meatloafs to feed the masses. And it all starts with cooking up the veggies that make their way into the meat.
We got fresh ground Wagyu, Agaushi beef,
Nice.
Amazing meat. So we're gonna transfer this nicely into the bowl. We're gonna take the milk with the egg wash, fresh eggs and milk. We dump it in there.
Obviously with some spices as well.
Yes, we put some black pepper in there. We get it going real slowly.
He is to massage the meat real nice.
We're massaging the beef. We're making the beef great again.
Once all mixed up, the mixture is mashed into meatloaf pans, and Anthony makes sure there isn't any air pockets or one other ingredient.
A lot of us have grown up with it where we put like a red sauce or ketchup.
Ketchup, yeah.
We don't do that.
Okay.
We just put brown gravy and mashed potatoes and then our famous collard greens.
Okay. So do not ask for ketchup with this dish.
No. Well,
Can't bring my kids here.
no, wait. You can ask for ketchup.
Anthony is not a red sauce guy.
After being baked, the meatloaf is sliced.
Some beautiful slices right there. Almost looks like a pate.
Yeah, it really does. And sent to the flat top to finish off.
We let it get happy for 2 minutes on each side.
Everything's happy. I love
Happy. It's all about happiness. We're in Texas.
Add collard greens, mashed potatoes, and brown gravy, and good gravy, we're almost ready. All we need is a side of the crab ranchero dip. A mixture of avocado, roasted corn, pico, ranch, and of course, fresh crab.
Voila.
Meatloaf for the meal, baby.
Wagyu, Agaushi beef meatloaf.
That sounds way too fancy.
Thank you. Way too fancy.
Thank you. So here we have that marvelous meatloaf sitting here in front of me, but we gotta try that crab ranchero first. The freshness of the pico, the smokiness of that corn, and that fresh crab, that's amazing.
It's really refreshing.
From there, we move on to the main attraction, the meatloaf. Look at that. That is beautifully packed in. That is not meatloaf like Mom used to make.
I love the meatloaf.
Never thought I'd say meatloaf is decadent, but that meatloaf is decadent.
Wagyu makes a difference on everything.
The meat, it's Wagyu, and that gives it a special flavor.
Well, I would definitely do anything for love, especially more meatloaf.
Meatloaf is fantastic. The Wagyu and the meatloaf makes it just right.
All right, we gotta try these potatoes. Oh my God. Okay, when an Irishman says, oh my gosh, to potatoes, you know they're good. Those are the creamiest potatoes I've ever had.
Everything that they make here is awesome.
And finally, we gotta get into these collard greens because they look beautiful and amazing. Oh, wow. Don't even taste like collard greens. This tastes like a fantastic vegetable dish with a little kick. I mean, you do eventually get the earthiness of those collard greens, but those bell peppers and that spice come through real nice.
So he's always bringing in something fresh, something new, being creative about the way he does it.
Well, if you happen to have a hankering for a home-cooked meal with some serious Texas roots that happens to be cooked by a guy from Holland, coming here to Anthonie's Market is definitely well worth a stop on the Texas bucket list.
You know, the most important thing is about achieving the American dream, and Anthony's definitely achieved that out here.
I get very emotional about Texas because I love Texas that much. It gave me the American dream. It made me the man I am today.
Well, thanks for watching this segment of the Texas Bucket List. To see more, be sure you subscribe to our channel. And to see full episodes, become a member. In the meantime, you can also shop our store at the Texas Bucket List Store and Studio.